They told you you were shy, that your quietness needed fixing, that your solitude was a problem. And if you were loud, they told you to calm down, to sit still, to not take up so much space. But what if both assumptions were wrong? What if the way you think, speak, connect, and recharge is not a flaw, but a deeply wired psychological pattern? Carl Gustav Jung knew this truth long before anyone else dared to say it. In the early 20th century, he introduced two terms that would define modern psychology: introversion and extroversion. But unlike today's watered-down personality quizzes, Jung's understanding ran deeper. He didn't see people as categories. He saw them as energy systems. He saw them as directional attitudes of the psyche, introversion being the inward movement of psychic energy, and extroversion the outward projection of that same force. This wasn't about social comfort. This was about psychological gravity. Jung believed that these orientations are not merely preferences. They are fundamental aspects of how the psyche relates to the world. They dictate whether your consciousness is shaped more by internal reflection or external engagement. In Jung's words, the introvert is oriented toward the inner world of thoughts and feelings, while the extrovert is directed toward people and objects in the external world. To Jung, introverts are not withdrawn due to weakness. They withdraw because their psychic energy, their very life force, flows inward. Solitude feeds them. Reflection strengthens them. Meanwhile, extroverts are not merely social butterflies. They are energized by engagement. They reach outward to people, events, challenges, to feel fully alive. Their battery charges through stimulation. You feel it, don't you? That fundamental pull, that intrinsic orientation that dictates where you find your vitality, your focus, your sense of self in relation to the world. It's not a quirk. It's not a phase. It's a profound psychological architecture etched into the very fibers of your nervous system. In the 1960s, the influential psychologist Hans Eysenck deepened this framework by linking introversion and extroversion to biology. He proposed that the difference lies in how the brain's reticular activating system, the gatekeeper of incoming stimuli, regulates arousal. Introverts, according to Eysenck, have a higher baseline level of cortical arousal. Their minds are already active. They process more of what's around them and faster. Thus, excess stimulation overwhelms them. They don't avoid noise because they dislike fun. They avoid it because they burn out from absorbing too much, too fast. Extroverts, on the other hand, start with a lower baseline. Their minds crave more sensory input to feel alert and balanced. That's why they seek novelty, people, energy. They need that flow to feel grounded. What overstimulates one, understimulates the other. This is not about choice. It's about calibration. Let us take you into the lived experiences of these two types, through the symbolic children, Jay and Ann. Jay is our extrovert. He enters a room and sparks fly. He's quick with words, energized by action. His mind associates rapidly, jumping from idea to idea. He speaks before thinking, because speech is how he thinks. In a group project, he takes the lead without hesitation. He thrives in movement, thrives in connection, and finds silence unnerving. Jay's nervous system is seeking that next external stimulant to reach its optimal state. Anne is our introvert. She observes more than she speaks. Her presence is calm, deep, and focused. She may not raise her hand first, but when she does, her insights are profound. She processes information more deeply, slowly, and deliberately. Crowds tire her. Small talk feels hollow. She doesn't avoid people. She simply prefers meaning over noise. Her nervous system is already alert. It doesn't need more. It needs space. Imagine Jay as a flame, always reaching outwards, always needing fresh oxygen. Movement is his sustenance. Anne, in contrast, is a deep-sea diver. Her world is quiet, pressurized, mysterious. She brings back insights from the depths, but must resurface slowly, carefully, to avoid burnout. Modern neuroscience has given further validation to these profiles. Studies on neurotransmitters have shown that extroverts have more active dopamine reward circuits. They get a stronger chemical reward from external stimuli, like parties, adventures, or public recognition. Introverts, meanwhile, do not receive the same spike in pleasure from external rewards. They find satisfaction in internal alignment, deep work, and focused creativity. The prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for complex thought and decision-making, also functions differently across the spectrum. Introverts tend to route more activity through this region before acting, leading to slower but often more refined responses. Extroverts engage faster, with more real-time processing, suitable for dynamic environments. But despite all of this evidence, psychological, biological, neurological, our society has constructed an invisible standard that favors extroversion. The loud are praised as confident. The visible are seen as competent. In schools, children who speak first are rewarded. In companies, those who dominate meetings are seen as natural leaders. But what if leadership also lives in the quiet? What if brilliance whispers instead of shouts? Jay is seen, he is rewarded. Anne is overlooked, not because she lacks talent, but because the spotlight never waits for stillness. In this imbalance, we lose genius. We lose nuance. We lose the invaluable contributions of minds that work differently. Educational models like that of Rudolf Steiner recognized this long ago. The Waldorf system, inspired by his philosophy, gives room for individual rhythm. Teachers wait, children reflect. Creativity flows from stillness. Not every mind blooms under the same light, and it begins early. Jerome Kagan, the renowned Harvard psychologist, conducted pivotal studies on infants. He exposed babies to unfamiliar stimuli, sounds, visuals, smells, and recorded their responses. Around 20% reacted strongly, crying or flinching. These were the highly reactive infants, who later often became introverted adults. Around 40% showed little reaction, often growing into more extroverted temperaments. Kagan's work suggests temperament is not just personality, it's physiology, a biological setting, not a social mask. But even then, Jung warned, there are no pure types. We are not binary. We are not confined. We carry both energies. We are all part flame, part ocean. And for many, this means existing somewhere in the middle. The ambivert, the one who craves solitude but comes alive in connection. The one who thinks deeply and speaks easily. The one who shifts. And that adaptability is power. So where does that leave you? You must ask, where does your energy flow? When do you feel most alive? Is it in the thrill of the crowd, the hum of conversation, the rush of a challenge? Or is it in the hush of morning light, the pages of a book, the quiet pull of inward thought? You may not have the answer yet. That's okay. The point isn't to label yourself, it's to know yourself, to honor your architecture. For too long, people have forced themselves into spaces that drain them, thinking it's what success requires. For too long, extroverts have been misunderstood as attention seekers, when in reality they are simply aligning with their biology. For too long, introverts have apologized for their silence, when in truth, that silence holds gold. Understanding your orientation isn't indulgence, it's efficiency, it's sustainability, it's truth. If you're an introvert, it means giving yourself permission to decline invitations without guilt. It means carving out time for quiet not as escape, but as necessity. It means choosing depth over breadth and not feeling inferior for it. If you're an extrovert, it means not apologizing for your need for connection. It means seeking environments that energize you, not environments that cage you. It means recognizing that your enthusiasm is a gift, not a problem. And if you are both, or neither, it means fluidity. It means trusting your own rhythm day by day. The key is conscious living. The key is not letting the world write your rhythm for you. So look again, strip away the labels. Beneath the surface is something more true than a personality type, an energy compass. And once you follow it, life begins to make sense. You are not shy. You are not too much. You are not indecisive. You are precisely the design your nervous system crafted. You are a system of energy, wired by nature, molded by experience. The sooner you understand that system, the sooner you reclaim your power. Speak your truth in the comments below. Share your reflections. They may help someone else recognize themselves. And if this brought you clarity, share it. Let this become a mirror for those still searching. You are not broken. You are wired. You are not lost. You were simply never shown the map. But now, you have it.